Welcome back to Revenue and Margin, brought to you by Rob Molenik. Everyone has been asking the same question lately about, is AI going to replace finance professionals? And I've been seeing lots of articles by all these very, very rich and powerful individuals saying, yes, it's going to replace finance. My answer, though, is no. It absolutely will replace finance professionals that don't adopt AI. But what AI is really incredibly doing well is repetitive work. Reconciliations, data extractions, drafting reports, summarizing threads, building a first pass on a forecast that's really a simple company. A lot of what finance teams spent hours even doing 2 years ago might happen now in minutes for that type of an aspect. But what AI can't do well, it can't lead an executive team. It cannot negotiate with a bank. It cannot build trust with investors. It cannot manage companies through liquidity crises. And it cannot make strategic decisions with incomplete information or with historical information that might have had blips such as seasonality or inconsistencies associated with operations. I think that the role of finance is going to be changing from scorekeeping to more of a strategic leadership role. I've been saying for a long time that I think that the future of finance is going to be a CXO, where you're actually in charge of operations and finance at the same time. CFOs who can win over the next 5 years are going to be the ones who can combine operational understanding, strategic thinking, communication, and AI enablement. I actually think that smaller companies are going to actually gain the most advantage versus the competition. A company doing $20 million or $50 million in revenue can now leverage tools that historically only a $1 billion company could afford. They'd hire very expensive finance people to crunch all these numbers and be able to come up with complex modeling for tax avoidance and things of that nature. I think the finance departments of the future are probably going to be smaller than today, but significantly more impactful. I think in the short term, some of the companies where a lot of those items that I mentioned before that are kind of data analysis and so forth, or data entry, there will be some pain. And some people will exit the profession. But I think the finance moving forward will be more of a critical function with a lot of businesses. Instead of hiring 5 analysts, they're going to manually build the reports. Companies may have one strong analyst, AI-enabled reporting, and a CFO who's really driving business results, involved in decision-making, potentially is now a CXO, responsible for the financials and the operations of the firm. That changes the economics of growth. But there's another side the executives need to think about, that AI does make bad data move faster within a company. What do I mean by that is that if your ERP is messy, if your processes are inconsistent, if departments are operating independently but ineffectively, AI amplifies the chaos. So the companies getting the best ROI from AI right now are not necessarily the most advanced technology, but they're the most disciplined operationally. So my recommendation for finance leaders is don't fear AI. Learn from it, implement it, experiment with it, and most importantly, design your processes around it. Make sure that it drives ROI for your firm, because the future CFO is not going to be just a finance leader doing data entry. It is going to be somebody who's a technology-enabled operational strategist, a true CFO/COO, or what I'm calling CXO roles in the future. Happy to talk to anybody about this moving forward. If you have questions, put them in the comments below. But thank you once again for always joining one of these revenues and margin podcasts brought to you by Rob Molenik. I hope to see you on the next one.